All right, get ready, because today we are going deep, really deep into, well, it might be a secret society, might be more than just a spooky story. We're talking ancient beings, weird dreams, and lots and lots of questions.
What really gets me about this deep dive is this source material. Professor Angel's manuscript. It's not just ghost stories. This was a serious academic. And he was investigating something he called, get this, the Cthulhu cult. And we have this news clipping here from the Sydney Bulletin, and it just might connect to his research in ways, well, I didn't see coming.
Okay, gotta admit, reading Professor Angel's manuscript, it felt like, I don't know, a horror novel.
Yeah.
A professor who studies languages, ancient languages, investigating a cult. That's not typical, is it?
Not typical at all. And that's what makes it so fascinating. You have these totally separate pieces of information. Sculptor's nightmares, a police report from a Louisiana swamp, a ship just drifting at sea. We're trying to see, well, if they fit together, do they make a bigger picture, maybe a disturbing picture?
Okay, let's start with Professor Angel's manuscript. Where does this, I don't know, unsettling journey begin?
Well, it all started with a sculptor, a young guy named Henry Anthony Wilcox. He had these super vivid dreams, nightmares, really, about this ancient city, massive, giant slime-covered stones, crazy angles. The whole thing just felt, well, dreadful. He even made a sculpture, a bas relief from what he saw in his dreams.
He was sculpting his nightmares. That's more than a bad dream.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the really interesting part. Professor Angel, he was very careful and thorough, and he started looking deeper, doing research. He found reports from other artists and poets. They had the same visions around the same time. These weren't just quick nightmares either. These dreams, they described monsters, really unsettling places, landscapes. And this feeling, this dread, it stayed with them even after they woke up. Some of them were even scared for their lives, like something was after them.
Wow, that gives me chills. It's like something straight out of, like, gothic horror. So not just one man's nightmares. This is, well, bigger, right? Shared. Did Professor Angel think he knew what was causing them, these bad dreams?
He did. He thought the dreams were all connected to a real cult, ancient. A cult that worshipped, well, powerful beings not from here, from the stars. And his suspicions, well, let's just say they got stronger after something happened in 1908.
Okay, I'm listening. What happened?
Okay, so there's this police inspector, Inspector LaGrasse, and he shows this weird artifact to the American Archaeological Society. It's a small statue, and it looks just like the creatures that were in the dreams.
Wait, so both the sculptor and this police inspector, they saw this thing, one in dreams and one in real life. Did the statue explain anything, like what it was?
It did, in a way, and it's really creepy. Both of them, they said it was a creature with a head like an octopus. Its body was scaly, rubbery. It had wings and these huge claws. It was a total monster, like mixed animal features, you know. And the statue, it had these weird symbols on it. On the base, nobody knew what they were.
Okay, this is sounding less like a coincidence and more like, well, evidence. Where did he find this statue? LaGrasse. What was going on?
He took it when he raided a swamp cult down in Louisiana.
What, a swamp cult? Really? This is getting really
It
strange.
gets even weirder, or creepier, I guess. According to Professor Angel, the ritual that LaGrasse saw, it was horrifying. There were people chanting, dancing around a huge bonfire. There was this giant stone thing in the background, a monolith, and this feeling, like a really bad feeling, like something's wrong.
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare. So they were worshiping this statue, this creature that was in Wilcox's dreams. What did LaGrasse find out about them?
About the cult, I mean. Well, he talked to some of the people they arrested, and what they believed, well, it explains a lot. They believed these monsters, the great old ones, they came here to Earth from space a long time ago. They ruled the planet, but then they went to sleep, like a death sleep, waiting for the right time to wake up again.
Oh, wow, I think I see where this is going. And this cult, they think Cthulhu is one of these great old ones, right?
Exactly. They call him the high priest of the great old ones. Super powerful, sleeping in the sunken city Arlaya, waiting to wake up. And the chant they use during the ritual, it translates to, in his house at Arlaya, dead Cthulhu waits dreaming.
Wow, I need to think about that for a minute. That chant, it's scary, but also kind of beautiful. And it makes you wonder, what does it mean? Dead but dreaming. What kind of existence is that? What does it tell us about these things and how they're connected to us? It's like an old myth, but with, a modern twist.
It's really interesting, that phrase. In his house at Arlaya, dead Cthulhu waits dreaming. It suggests, I don't know, something we don't understand about life and death. It's a reality beyond us, a place where these cosmic things sleep and their dreams. Maybe they can influence us in ways we don't even know.
So we have these weird, scary dreams and a swamp cult worshiping this ancient powerful thing, Cthulhu. But what about that news clipping? Where does that fit in?
That's what's so interesting about all this. The news clipping, at first it seems totally random. It's about this ship, the Alert, that was found just drifting. But when you look closer, there are some, well, chilling similarities. It's almost like the Alert came straight out of Wilcox's nightmares.
Okay, now I'm really interested. What happened to this ship, the Alert?
Well, it was an island trader operated out of New Zealand, and the people who owned it, well, let's just say they were known for weird meetings, sneaking off into the woods at night.
Sounds suspicious. What else do we know?
They left really suddenly, right after those earthquakes and storms that Wilcox dreamed about. And here's the best part. When they found the ship, it was carrying a statue.
What was in the Alert's cargo? Did it explain their behavior?
It looks like the Alert might have been doing something for the Cthulhu cult, because the statue they found on board was almost exactly like the one that LaGrasse took from that swamp cult.
Hold on. Two groups, opposite sides of the world, with these super similar, creepy statues. What are the odds? It's like these puzzle pieces are coming together, but it's a dark puzzle. What happened to the Alert and its crew? How did they get that statue?
We don't know much about what happened, but they met another ship at sea, the Emma. And for some reason, they told the Emma to turn around, go back. When they refused, the Alert attacked.
They attacked another ship because they wouldn't turn around. That's not just weird, it's hostile. Why would they do that? Were they trying to protect something? Or keep the Emma away from something?
We don't know for sure, but it seems like the Alert was on a mission. Maybe it was connected to the Cthulhu cult and whatever they were looking for.
This is getting creepier and creepier. What happened to the Emma? Did they survive?
The crew of the Emma fought back. They actually boarded the Alert and killed the entire crew. Then they decided to sail the Alert themselves, see if they could figure out why they were attacked.
Wow, that's brave, but maybe not so smart. Like walking into a trap. What happened then?
This is where things get really scary. The only survivor from the Emma, his name was Gustav Johansen, later wrote down what happened in his own manuscript. He said they found a huge island, not on any maps, an island that, well, it shouldn't exist. And on that island, they found a city, this huge city built out of Cyclopean stone, just like Wilcox described.
Get out. Are you serious? So they actually found it. The city of Arlaia. The legendary city.
Seems that way. Johansen, in his manuscript, he described it in really creepy detail. Huge blocks of greenstone, giant statues, and these weird angles. It's like the city was built in a space that doesn't, well, follow the rules, like our reality, you know?
I don't know, a city built with like a different kind of geometry. It sounds crazy.
And remember, this is happening at the same time that Wilcox's dreams are getting worse and worse. Professor Angel, he said that one of the artists he was talking to, a famous architect, he went crazy, totally insane during this time.
That's scary. It's like whatever was going on that island was, I don't know, reaching out, affecting people who were sensitive to something. Maybe Professor Angel was right about these powerful beings. Maybe they can influence our world.
That's what makes this so creepy. There are forces out there, things we don't understand, things that can mess with our minds, make us go crazy. Makes you wonder, all those people Professor Angel wrote about going crazy, panicking, were they just random events? Or were they connected to, well, something ancient waking up?
I'm getting chills. Okay, so that Emma finds this city, this, I don't know, this place of cosmic horror. What happened then? Did they try to talk to anyone? Explore the city?
Johansen and his crew, they were curious, maybe a little fascinated too. So they started exploring. Eventually they found this huge door carved with all these designs on the side of a monolith, a huge one.
Was it like those giant doors you see in like archaeological sites? What was it like?
He said it was like a big barn door, but even that doesn't really describe it. But the really creepy thing is, the city's geometry was so messed up that they couldn't even tell if the door was flat or slanted. It was like, I don't know, reality itself was warping around them.
Wait, I'm not sure I understand. What do you mean by distorted geometry?
Johansen said the angles of the city were all wrong. It wasn't normal geometry. Like, imagine a place where you don't know what's horizontal and what's vertical. The walls are curving in crazy ways, and up and down don't mean anything. It's like they walked into one of those M.C. Escher drawings.
This is starting to sound like Lovecraft.
How?
And to think both the sculptor and the sailor that never met, never talked, but they both described this city as having this completely alien geometry.
Exactly. So it wasn't just hallucinations or, their imagination. They were both seeing something real, something outside of their own minds, something that breaks our rules of space and time.
Okay, this is wild. So back to the door. What happened when they opened it? Did they find answers? Or something, well, scarier?
When they opened the door, this darkness, like a thick darkness, came pouring out. They couldn't see the walls inside. The air smelled terrible, and there were these weird slopping sounds coming from below. Like they had opened a portal to, I don't know, somewhere really bad.
I would not want to be there. What did they see?
Johansson described it as a mountainous monstrosity. Something, well, beyond human understanding. He could hardly even describe it.
Was it Cthulhu? Did they actually see the creature from the statue, the creature in Wilcox's dream?
Johansson's account, it's all broken up and full of terror, but yeah, it seems like it. He described a creature with an octopus head, scaly, rubbery-looking body, huge claws. It was like the statue came to life, but like 1,000 times bigger.
So what did they do? Did they run, try to fight it?
Some of the crew just went crazy when they saw it, from fear. Some of them got caught in its claws. You could hear them screaming. Others just ran, their minds. Well, they couldn't handle it. Johansson and one other guy, Bryden, they made it back to the Alert. They knew they had to get off that island, out of that city, away from that thing. But it wasn't over. It followed them.
This is intense. How did they get away?
Johansson, he realized they couldn't outrun it. It was getting closer, so he did something crazy. He turned the Alert around and rammed it headfirst right into the monster. He had the engines going full speed. He said it made this horrible sound, like wet and ripping. The ship was covered in this green mist. Then, silence. When the mist cleared, the creature was gone.
He rammed a boat into a giant sea monster and lived. That's insane.
It's amazing, isn't it? Shows you what humans can do, even when faced with, I don't know, cosmic horror. Even against something so powerful that breaks the laws of nature, we still fight back, we survive. It's a theme you see a lot in Lovecraft's stories. Humanity struggling against, well, the universe. But Johansson, well, he didn't get away without any damage.
What happened to him?
He got away, but he was never the same. What he saw, that glimpse into, well, the abyss, it haunted him until he died.
Yeah, I can imagine seeing something so alien, so horrifying. It's like looking into the face of madness and barely getting away. But he wrote about it, everything that happened.
He did. He wrote it all down, the whole experience, in a manuscript. It's a scary story, all about dread and, how insignificant humans are. It makes you think about reality and where we fit in.
Wow, that's incredible. So where is it? This manuscript. Can researchers study it? Can we read it?
Unfortunately, no. It's gone.
Gone? What do you mean? What happened to it?
Johansson died not long after he got back home. His death, it's like everything else in this story, mysterious. His wife said he was walking down the street in Oslo and some papers fell out of a window, an attic window, and hit him. Killed him instantly.
A freak accident.
Yeah.
Or something well planned. Knowing what we know about this Cthulhu cult makes you wonder, was it really an accident? Or did someone want to shut him up before he could tell anyone too much?
We'll never know for sure, but it's definitely possible.
So what happened to that giant sea monster? Did it die when Johansson hit it with his boat? Is Cthulhu really dead? Or just dreaming? Waiting?
That's the big question, isn't it? The Vigilant, the ship that rescued Johansson, they went back to where the city was supposed to be. They didn't find anything, but the ocean is vast, deep, full of secrets. Who knows what's down there, just waiting.
And what about the Cthulhu cult? Are they still around, hiding in the shadows, waiting for, I don't know, the right time? It's a terrifying thought that there are people out there who worship these ancient cosmic horrors.
It's definitely a possibility,
Yeah.
and it makes you think, what are they trying to do? What do they want? Are they just waiting for Cthulhu to wake up, or are they trying to help him come back?
Okay, I need a minute to process all this. This is a lot to take in. It's like we fell into some conspiracy theory, but one where, like, the whole universe is at stake.
Yeah.
If these cults are real, I mean, really real, what does that mean for us? What do they want?
LeGrasse, when he questioned the cult members, the ones from the swamp, they said that when Cthulhu wakes up, it'll be, well, chaos, madness everywhere. They thought the way we live now, civilization and morals, it was just, I don't know, temporary. They wanted to go back to a simpler time, a world ruled by these ancient things, a world without, like, human rules.
That's scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
People who actually want the world to end, who think that humanity being destroyed is, I don't know, a good thing. It's like the opposite of everything we believe in.
It really makes you think about, good and evil, progress, destruction. What's really interesting and scary is that they don't think of Cthulhu as evil. He's a god to them. He's going to bring a new age, even if it's, full of chaos and madness.
Makes you think about how fear and, like, worship, they can be connected. What scares us can also be, well, attractive in a way. And Professor Angel, How does he fit into all this? His death, it was so weird. Was it the cult?
It's possible. Don't forget, his manuscript, it just ends. There are missing pieces, questions he didn't answer. Did he find out something too dangerous? Did he get too close?
And Johansson's manuscript, it's gone too. Vanished with him. It's like these stories, these accounts are cursed. Like they're not supposed to be known. Just whispers of something we're not supposed to see.
What about the dreams? If they're a way for these ancient things to contact us, to reach us, what does that mean?
About reality, I mean. Could our minds, our subconscious, be like a doorway for things we can't even understand?
That's a really creepy thought. What's really out there, right under our noses, affecting us, our thoughts, our dreams, our whole reality.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, right? Are we really in control? Or are there things we can't see controlling us?
After all this, I think I need a new pair of glasses. I'm seeing the world differently now. What do you think is the most important thing we learned from all this? I think the biggest takeaway is that there are still mysteries out there, things that science can't explain. And maybe sometimes it's better not to know. We want to understand everything, put it all in order, but there are parts of the universe, of our own existence, that we just might not be able to grasp. Maybe the key is to accept what we don't know, to live with the mystery.
Makes you feel pretty small, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Reminds you that we're not the center of everything. There are forces out there, bigger than us.
And maybe, just maybe, those forces aren't evil. Maybe they work in ways we can't even imagine. The challenge is to live with them, to find a way to be okay with the mysteries around us.
Well, I think we went pretty deep into this Cthulhu cult thing. It's been interesting, to say the least.
It was a fascinating exploration. Thanks for sharing these sources with me.
And to everyone listening, if you start having weird dreams about strange cities or monsters with tentacles, just remember, sometimes the scariest truths are the ones we just can't understand.